Before we dive into the story, here is a quick breakdown of the key theological themes and structure based on the text. This moment is the climax of Abraham's spiritual journey. After waiting decades for the child of promise, God asks him to surrender the very gift he gave. It is a test of allegiance, whether Abraham is devoted to the gift or to the giver. Abraham does not argue, delay, or negotiate. He rises early in the morning, showing a matured faith that trusts God's character even when his commands seem contradictory to his promises. Christians view this chapter as a powerful foreshadowing of Christ. Isaac, the only beloved son, carries the wood for his own sacrifice up a hill, just as Jesus carried the cross. Abraham's statement, "God will provide for himself the lamb," is seen as a prophecy ultimately fulfilled in Jesus. The angel of the Lord stops Abraham, and a ram is found caught in the thicket. Abraham names the place, "The Lord will provide," emphasizing substitutionary atonement. The ram takes Isaac's place. Because Abraham withholds nothing, God swears by himself to multiply Abraham's offspring and bless all nations through him. The chapter ends with a genealogy that introduces Rebekah, who will later become Isaac's wife, securing the lineage. So, grab a coffee and get comfortable, because we are dropping right into one of the most intense, heart-pounding moments in the entire Bible. This is the story of Abraham, Isaac, and the day everything changed. Our story picks up when Abraham is an old man, ancient, not early retirement old. He's finally living the good life. He has his miracle son, Isaac, the child he and Sarah waited decades for. Isaac is the promise, the future, the center of Abraham's world. Then out of nowhere, God decides it's time for a test. God calls out, "Abraham," and Abraham answers, "Here I am." God says, "Take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and go to the land of Moriah. Sacrifice him there as a burnt offering." If it were anyone else, this would sound unbelievable. But the instruction is clear. Abraham doesn't argue. He doesn't delay. The text says he got up early in the morning. He saddles the donkey, takes 2 servants, wakes up Isaac, and cuts the wood. They travel for 3 days. Every step of that journey carries unbearable weight. On the 3rd day, Abraham sees the mountain in the distance and tells his servants, "Stay here with the donkey. The boy and I will go over there and worship, and we will come back to you." Abraham doesn't know how God will do it, but he knows God made a promise. Even if Isaac dies, God can raise the dead. As they climb the mountain, Isaac carries the wood on his back while Abraham carries the fire and the knife. Isaac looks around and asks, "My father, where is the lamb for the burnt offering?" Abraham answers, "God himself will provide the lamb," and they walk on together. At the top, Abraham builds the altar and arranges the wood. Then he binds Isaac. Isaac could have run. He was young and strong, but he doesn't. He lies down willingly. Abraham reaches out his hand and takes the knife. Then heaven interrupts. "Abraham, Abraham, here I am. Do not lay a hand on the boy. Do not do anything to him. Now I know that you fear God, because you have not withheld your son, your only son." Abraham looks up and sees a ram caught by its horns in a thicket. He sacrifices the ram instead of his son. The innocent dies, so the beloved son can live. Abraham names the place, "The Lord will provide," because on the mountain of the Lord it will be provided. God speaks again and promises blessing beyond measure. Abraham's descendants will be as countless as the stars in the sand, and through his family the whole world will be blessed. Abraham and Isaac return to the servants and head back home. The chapter ends with news from Abraham's brother Nahor, listing his children. Hidden in that list is Bethuel, who becomes the father of Rebekah, the woman who will later marry Isaac. Even while Abraham was being tested on the mountain, God was already arranging Isaac's future. That is Genesis 22. A story about trust, surrender, and a God who does not ultimately demand our sons, but provides the sacrifice himself.